South Africa is a treaty member of the International Criminal Court. If Putin comes here in August as planned, your government will be obliged to arrest him. As head of the ANC, do you believe your government should and indeed will arrest Vladimir Putin?
If it was according to the ANC, we will want President Putin to be here even tomorrow.
In August, South Africa will face a complex situation. The eagerly anticipated BRICS Summit presents South Africa with an opportunity to guide discussions about equitable financial growth and sustainable future strategies. However, this meeting could potentially escalate into a global crisis, primarily due to the participation of Russia's leader Vladimir Putin. Putin isn't a typical attendee. He has been indicted by the International Criminal Court, which places South Africa in precarious position. The question arises, should they apprehend him or allow him freedom? This is a question that senior officials are pondering. If Putin participates, South Africa is confronted with a dilemma. Should they abide by the ICC commitments, potentially upsetting their BRICS partners, or should they disregard the ICC, risking repercussions from other nations seeking to bring Putin to trial for war crimes? But to comprehend this ICC conundrum, we need a brief history. The ICC originated after World War II with the Nuremberg trials, but only became a full-fledged entity in the late 90s. Its mandate is to monitor severe transgressions such as genocide, crimes against humanity, and war crimes. To fail under ICC jurisdiction, countries must concede the authority achieved by ratifying the Rome Statute. Despite 123 countries being signatories, permanent nations including Russia, the United States, China, Sudan, Israel, Ukraine, and others have not ratified it. Meanwhile, South Africa's leaders are weighing the pros and cons of arresting Putin. There are even discussions about altering the summit location or requesting Putin's absence. Amid all these considerations, South Africa must remain true to its core values, including respect for human rights. It's a delicate balancing act. Russia, however, is standing firm. They deny all allegations against Putin. In a twist of events, they issued an arrest warrant for ICC prosecutor Karim Assad Ahmad Khan and other 3 judges who charged Putin with war crimes. Furthermore, US-based news network CNN recently reported that accusations about Ukrainian refugees being forced into relocating to Russia are untrue. With numerous conflicting narratives, it becomes challenging to distinguish fact from fiction. Presently, the efficacy and performance of the court are under increased scrutiny by various individuals and organizations. Historically, the court has encountered many challenges. During President Obama's tenure, the United States began to engage more closely with the ICC. However, with the arrival of President Trump, the dynamics of this relationship drastically shifted. The Trump administration discontinued any collaboration with the ICC and even imposed sanctions on 2 of its prominent figures, including the chief prosecutor Fatou Bensouda. As a result of these sanctions, they face the risk of having their assets seized if they set foot on American soil. This significant development occurred 2 years after a notable speech by John Bolton and just a few months before Trump's tenure was due to end. Concurrently, there was a significant case about the war in Afghanistan that was undergoing significant revisions. In 2017, Bensouda initiated a case to investigate potential crimes committed during the war in Afghanistan from 2003 onward, which is when Afghanistan became a member of the Rome Statute. Initially, the case was dismissed because it would not contribute towards justice. However, last spring the case was reopened, putting potential liability on the US military personnel involved. All these developments add layers of complexity to the current situation, illustrating how the fields of diplomacy and justice are complex, akin to a high-stakes chess match. Additionally, Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of South Africa, has hinted at the possibility of withdrawing from the Rome Statute, an announcement first made last December. Moreover, there is Solly Mapala, a prominent member of the South African Communist Party, who is raising some critical questions regarding the ICC's purpose, actions, and representation. Listen to his words.
Firstly, the ICC, as you know, throughout its inception, has indicted 52 people, 48 of them Africans, 4 Russians, or former people of Russian origin. Now, is that a world institution? Is that a world instrument? What about the people who have caused wars in Iraq? Tony Blair, Bill Clinton, other American President Obama, who caused wars in Afghanistan and other places. All the invasion of Iraq, Yugoslavia, American president, the continued wars against the Palestinian people by Israeli regime. Netanyahu just last week he visited Britain, is welcomed with open arms. It's a war criminal. But what is the ICC saying? Does it issue warrants of arrest for these people? No. It issues warrant of arrest for African leaders, predominantly, overwhelmingly, completely unacceptable. So the ICC, it's literally an institution of Western imperialism, and we reject it with the contempt that it deserves.
There is another curious fact for you to consider. Maria Zakharova, the spokesperson for the Russian Foreign Ministry, has claimed that Judge Karim Ahmad Khan intervened to help his brother imprisoned for pedophilia. She stated Karim Ahmad Khan's brother, former Conservative MP Imran Ahmad Khan, was released from a British prison on February 23rd after serving only half of an 18-month sentence for molesting a minor. Zakharova noted that 3 weeks post-release, Karim Khan issued an arrest warrant for Vladimir Putin and Maria Lvova-Belova, a Russian children's rights commissioner. This story entwines international law, politics, and personal narratives into a complicated puzzle that's unfolding globally. The world is attentively observing, anticipating the next developments. It isn't merely stirring up controversy, but it is leading us to question the potency of international justice. The situation becomes more convoluted when the US alleges that South Africa is clandestinely assisting Russia with weaponry. President Cyril Ramaphosa's office strongly refutes this, but it adds a strain to the impending BRICS Summit. As South African President Cyril Ramaphosa ponders withdrawing from the International Criminal Court, the Democratic Alliance, his main competitor, is calling for Putin's arrest should he arrive in the country. South Africa is in a precarious position, a scenario typical of real-world politics. On one side is the BRICS, an economic bloc that accounts for more than 40% of the world population. On the other, it faces human rights, international law, and the responsibility of holding individuals accountable for their actions. Quite a puzzle, isn't it? Now imagine this scenario. Putin decides to attend the BRICS Summit. South Africa is faced with a difficult decision. If it refrains from arresting him, a global uproar will ensue. If, on the other hand, it goes ahead with the arrest, it risks to lose important ally and destabilize the BRICS group. There is relentless debate about the issue. Some argue that arresting Putin would demonstrate that no leader is exempt from the law. However, others believe that it could jeopardize South Africa's alliances and economic interests. The countdown is on, and South Africa is under intense pressure. Their decision could potentially alter the future of BRICS, the reputation of the International Criminal Court, and our entire concept of global law. Recently, a phone conversation took place between President Ramaphosa and President Putin, which sparked significant interest. The dialogue focused on future events such as the Russian-Africa Summit and the highly anticipated BRICS Summit in Johannesburg, where Putin is predicted to make an appearance. Moreover, they addressed Africa's strategy to resolve the issues in Ukraine. Several African leaders, including Ramaphosa, plan to visit both Russia and Ukraine. This plan has caused some tension among South Africa's trading partners, notably the US and the European Union, who have shown disapproval over Putin's potential visit, particularly due to the International Criminal Court's interest in him. To sidestep potential complications, South Africa has considered relocating the summit, possibly to China or India, since neither is bound by the International Criminal Court's regulations. China, meanwhile, has publicly supported South Africa, emphasizing cooperation. The upcoming visit of the African peace delegation to Russia and Ukraine in mid-June is also generating attention. A conflict persists between South Africa and the US concerning allegations that South Africa is supporting Russia in their continuing dispute. Amidst these developments, the international community is paying close attention. South Africa's decisions in the following weeks will not only impact the larger geopolitical landscape, but also its position within it. Every decision brings with it further complexity and reduces the margin for error. Whatever choice South Africa makes, it promises to instigate global changes, reshaping perceptions of power, accountability, and justice. This is a situation that will have historical implications, and the conclusion remains undetermined. The current tension surrounding Putin and the International Criminal Court might overshadow the importance of the BRICS Summit. Alternatively, this could be an inflated media scandal designed to destabilize the summit. The BRICS Summit is one of the most significant gatherings since the pandemic began, with around 1,000 participants expected for the BRICS Business Council, 67 leaders for the summit, and an abundance of media coverage. Initially, Durban was chosen as the location, but due to the high numbers of international guests, it was moved to the Sandton Convention Center in Johannesburg. Be sure to view our previous video where we comprehensively explain this pivotal event. The link is provided above and can also be found in the description. Please leave a comment and share this video. Let us know your thoughts and what your approach would be if you were in charge in South Africa. Don't forget to subscribe to our Think BRICS channel. Stay curious and stay with us. We'll see you in the next video.